glove. It's so bad. Holy crap. Hey guys, and welcome back to Chasing Junk. In this episode, I'm going to show you my childhood Walkman, my new power glove, and a bunch of other stuff I picked up in the month of July. And I need your help. You help me know what was the best pickup and what did I overpay for. So I'm going to go through my new additions to my collection and show you the prices. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm a school teacher and a side hustler, and I use some of the extra money that I make each month doing product reviews to buy things for my personal collection. I'm fortunate to have this be my kind of midlife crisis. I have an extra job that does pretty well, and I take 50% of the earnings from that and use that to buy stuff for me, and then I give the other 50% to my wife so she can buy toys. And it's working out pretty good so far. So I've started filming these mailbags where I show you what I collected in the last month, how it fits into my existing collection, and exactly what I paid for it, in case some of these things are nostalgic for you and maybe you want to pick them up. It'll give you some kind of ballpark of what you can get at what price point. Just remember, I'm chasing junk. That means there's not a lot of value in this stuff. It's mostly, the value is in the nostalgia. It's in being taken back. And there were a few things this month that were huge for me that totally were a blast from the past, that took me right back to my childhood. And they were so fun to order in the first place, but then to receive and to play with them, it was awesome. Now, if you've been watching some of my videos, you know I'm chasing baseball cards, I'm chasing toys from the 80s, mostly Thundercats and a little bit of Transformers. And I've really started this summer getting into old school music CDs and DVDs, which has been a lot of fun as well. This month, I went in a slightly different direction, mostly because I've collected the baseball cards I want to collect up to this point, and so I was able to expand my collections into other things from my childhood. The first thing I got was a bunch of CDs. Now, I did purchase one lot. It was an Aerosmith lot that had 7 CDs, and it cost me about $28. But then one of the discs was really scratched, and the guy who sold it to me gave me a coupon for $10 off, so it ended up being a really good deal. The rest of these CDs came from the thrift store at $1 a piece. So in total, I spent $40, and I got like 20 CDs, so about $2 each. Let me show you some of my highlights. Best in Neil Diamond, my folks love him. Lionel Richie, The Love Songs. That one's pretty cool. Beach Boys, Brian Wilson just passed away, and this, I had this CD in the 90s. It's their greatest hits, and it's a good one. Maybe my favorite Aerosmith CD, Permanent Vacation. This one has Angel on it. I think it's the most underrated and best Aerosmith song. What do you guys think? What's the best Aerosmith song of all time? And here is the oldest Aerosmith CD I have from 1975, Toys in the Attic. This one has Sweet Emotion on it, Walk This Way. It's a good disc. I also spent about $85 this month on DVDs, but these first two I got from the thrift store. First season of Family Matters, second season of Fresh Prince, and they were only like $2 each, so $4 total for these two. Then I picked up 3 entire series, and I did this as part of Amazon Prime's deal days, or I don't know what they call it in July, but we do a Christmas in July where we pick up a few presents for Christmas coming up in December, or maybe just for back to school. And these were a good deal, so for $20 I got the entire run of Ninja Turtles, the entire run of She-Ra, Princess of Power, which, guilty pleasure maybe, I loved that show when I was a kid. And then one of my favorite sitcoms as a kid, the entire series of Growing Pains, which was about $35. So that's been a fun pickup for me. We've been rewatching some of these old shows. It's one of my favorite things to do with my kids, is show them the shows that I grew up on. What was your favorite television show from the 80s or 90s? Or favorite cartoon? I'd love to know. Okay, so the next part of my collection, this was a total blast for the past for me. It's something that I haven't thought about or played with or done anything with since the early 90s. But when I show it to you, you'll see why this is such a nostalgic thing for me. Dun, 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 dun. I picked up some Nintendo, the original console, the NES. Didn't have a door on it, so this was only $40. Pretty good deal for a broken one that still works. Oh, but there's more. What's the thing I never could afford to get as a kid, but I can now? The Game Boy, with no games, and I don't think it works, but it's gonna go up on my Nintendo display, which is going right up there. Oh, but there's more. I got the Zapper Gun. And the Game Genie, which I loved when I was a kid. It gives you all the cheat codes. And of course, the Power Glove. It's so bad. I always wanted this as a kid. It turns out I had no idea, but this thing was horrible. It doesn't do a very good job. None of the games work very well with it, but as a display piece, super cool. And to get all this was about $100. $50 for the Game Boy and for the Nintendo. So total in, I was about $200 for all my NES stuff. Pretty good. Now, normally that would have exhausted my budget for the month, but I had a little bit extra this month because we had some money for Christmas in July. I actually got a good bonus from one of the sales that I did. And so I had a little bit more money. And I was thinking about, for me, it was the mid-90s when I discovered music. And at that time, CDs were a big thing, but only the rich kids had a Sony Discman. The rest of us had a Sony Walkman. And this is the original Walkman that I had. I picked it up for $12. Now the radio works and the cassette doesn't, but because of that, I went ahead and picked up the better version of this that has mega bass, and this one had the cassette that worked, and everything works on it. So it was really cool. These combined was about $50, and the first song I listened to when I turned this on was Ace of Base, All That She Wants, and it so took me back to the 90s. I just lay in bed and listened to 80s and 90s songs on the radio and realized that this was the first time I intentionally turned on the radio in decades. And it was so fun to go back to high school and just relive some of those memories with my Sony Walkman, which I lived with. I mean, I slept with this thing, I ate with this thing, I did everything with my Sony Walkman when I was a freshman in high school, way back in the early 90s. Of course, that started taking me down a rabbit hole, and I got an earlier version Walkman, and now I kind of have, as a holy grail piece, the original 1979, I think, maybe 78, Walkman that you see on Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. That Walkman was super cool, but it cost a few $1,000s. This one from 1990 is in like perfect condition, and it cost about $40 as well. So all in on the Walkman stuff, I was around $100. Now you'd think that'd be enough, but you'd be wrong. I did one thing, and this isn't gonna be very nostalgic for most of y'all, but this is a collector piece for me. I'm writing a book on the runner Glenn Cunningham. His story is incredible, and I'm writing a book hoping to adapt it to a screenplay and selling it to Hollywood. I think this would be a fantastic movie. I'm not going to tell you the whole story here, but I am going to show you this awesome photo that I got from 1934. This was about 20 bucks. And I got another one from 1939 that was about 15 bucks. And then I got this awesome postcard that's signed by him with some notes on the back. And this was a little over $100. So for me, this is really cool because I'll utilize some of these artifacts in my book and with my research, but also now I can make like a little shadow box and put it up here in my office, which is a cool. All right, now last thing, I know I told you that I was done collecting the junk wax era of baseball boxes, but I found a good deal. I had extra money in my budget. It did actually put me over budget by a couple $100, but I got the holy grail of junk wax era baseball cards, 1989 Upper Deck Baseball Low Series. This is the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card year, and I cannot wait. I'm gonna open this box up next year. I'll probably open the whole box in one day and see if I can pull a Griffey. There's some other good rookies from that year and some other good cards. And so I'm very, very excited about this box of 1989 Upper Deck. Well, as you can see, I got some really, really cool stuff this month. A lot of this is going right up on the shelves as part of my collection. You might have noticed that my background's starting to look a little different. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be transforming my backdrop as I prepare to do some higher quality videos. And so I've ordered a bunch of things to kind of improve my studio setup here. So I'm really excited to show that to you here soon. So I found some awesome stuff this month. of everything that I found, what you think was the best find for this month, and maybe what's something that you think I overpaid on or that you definitely wouldn't have gone with. Now, I know for most of you it's the Glenn Cunningham photos, but aside from that, what are you not very excited about with this collection? And what direction do you think I should go for next month? There are so many things that I could collect. I think I want to get a few more slabbed cards this next month. I have a really cool showcase piece that I've already purchased that will go up in my background. So I'm really excited to show that to you next month. But I've still got some money to fiddle with. If you were me, what would be your next purchase? Let me know in the comments and keep chasing that junk. Bye-bye.